Hello, and welcome to Dairy Processing's Equipment Deep Dive. I'm Kristen Putch, Managing Editor of Dairy Processing. I'm happy to be joined today by Brad Brueker, Sales Manager at Integrated Packaging Machinery, headquartered in Rockford, Michigan. Thanks for joining me today, Brad.
Thanks for the opportunity to talk with you today.
Today we're talking about IPM's approach to integrated packaging for dairy, food, and beverage industries. Brad, tell me more about IPM and the customers that you're serving.
IPM is an employee-owned company. We're an OEM-neutral systems integrator that specializes in engineering through the execution for primary and secondary packaging systems for the food and beverage industry. We started 26 years ago in the dairy industry primarily, and have diversified over the last 2 decades outside of just dairy into other vertical markets within the food and beverage market. But over 2/3 of our business is still within the dairy industry. We specialize in once a product is made, we take it from there and get it into the warehouse. So we truly take it from cradle to grave, from development all the way through site acceptance for packaging systems. And our business is primarily focused on a consultative approach to a packaging line that we work with our customers hand in hand to find best solution and best value for that specific application.
And Brad, you mentioned an OEM neutral approach to packaging line integration. Can you explain a little bit more about what that means?
Yes, we are about a solution-based problem-solving company. So we don't want to look at trying to sell a specific piece of equipment. We want to try to find the best technology that fits within the specific application and the problem that we're trying to solve. So we're not tied to any specific OEM partner. We are able to go and find the best partner that fits the budget, the space, and the timeline needed for that specific project for that specific customer. So it allows us a lot of flexibility on the front end for project design through execution. And we are not the ones that dictate what that is primarily with the customer. Our approach is to bring those options to the customer and have them be part of that overall solution of finding what is the right technology for each specific aspect of that process from the initial design, and then we get to final scope and execution. So we work with our customer to help identify and find what is the best technology to accomplish what the ask is in the beginning of the project.
And can you describe the customer benefit inherent in your approach to project development and delivery?
Absolutely. Customer benefit and value is baked throughout our process. We have what we call our sure thing process, where it starts with the initial design of the project and not looking at just one aspect of what the design is. It's looking at the whole, what we're trying to accomplish in general. So asking a lot of questions on the front end with the customer to understand what are they trying to accomplish, what are the desired outcomes from that, where it's a working session in the development and understanding the total scope of what's trying to be done with each project. So we review those concepts and we bang heads with the customer back and forth to determine what is the best way to define kind of what we do going forward. So we take that conversation in the beginning and then we go back with our teams and then we end up coming up with some different layout options and concepts and present a bunch of different ideas, go back, review again with the customer and understand. So there's a customer portion through our process that they're engaged within our process as well. So we're another seat at the table with their team. We're trying to provide them information that they can use to help give them the best decisions to make for their business. So we work through all of that on the front end. We bring in pricing and budgets that then hones down some of the scope further, and we land on what is that final scope freeze in our process with the customer. So we identify here's what we want to do, and we've worked through all these different options on the front end to really align on best value, best technology, and best solution for what they're trying to do. And then a PO is issued for our service. Then we get into the actual execution of that work. So on the front end, we do all of the design, and then we have their scope freeze, and now it's on project execution, where we get our project management and engineering teams engaged with the customer and their execution teams, and they work hand in hand to go execute what was decided up on the front end and designed for that final solution. So because we're engaged in that design, that development, we now can take sole responsibility to execute to what was contracted with us to go execute to. So our process is really geared toward driving that value with the customer on all the way through. So we want to work on projects that have an ROI for our customers, just like they do. We don't charge for engineering services on the front end because that value on the back end is seen, where we want to get into executing projects that have a return on investment. And if there isn't a return, let's get to that answer quickly and move to the next one. So our whole process is geared around customer collaboration and working on projects that have value to both our customer and us.
Brad, what are the benefits to the customer of IPM's ESOP organization?
As an employee owned company, there's a level of ownership from the president all the way down through the organization. So any interaction that we have with a customer of any type is geared from an ownership spirit. That is truly one of our values as a company. So that aspect is really driven through any interaction that we have with our customer, and how every single person within our company treats a project as it runs through. There is an ownership stake in a successful execution of a project, from the start of the design all the way through our on-site services team that comes in and executes a project. So all of them have an ownership stake in our success, which is directly tied to our customer success. So that has a huge impact on the ability for us to over deliver for customers. Everybody wants to have the success of a long-lasting relationship and a partnership with our customers, and it really starts with our ESOP structure as a business.
If you are interested in learning more about IPM's OEM neutral business model, you can visit callipm.com or call 616 531 7758. Brad, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today about IPM solutions for dairy processors.
Appreciate it, Kristen. Thanks for the time.
And thank you for watching Dairy Processing's Equipment Deep Dive.